Ukraine. It's those birds that are making the noise. You can put your hand down, I'm not going to call on you. I have a deep amount of compassion and empathy for the people of Ukraine. They've been fighting this war with Russia for now almost 1,700 years. They fought bravely. I want to define Vladimir Putin. Look, I despise Vladimir Putin. He's a bloodthirsty war criminal. So this is what I'm trying to avoid is the cheering and the because we're going to come back and boo here in a second too. But I do appreciate the encouragement. Thank you. Look, he's a thug. He's a criminal. He's a murderer. He should be tried at The Hague, and whatever they decide should happen to him. Okay? I have no use for Vladimir Putin. I have compassion for the people of Russia. I'm sure there's lots of good people there in Russia as well. The next thing I would say is that Europe's had 3 years now to step up. This is, in my humble opinion, and there'll be people who disagree with me, I understand this, but this is Europe's war. Happy to help. Happy to help. We have 105,000 American soldiers in Europe right now. One of them was my own son and enlisted in the Army. I was there for a year as well. Thank God he's back safe. But in my humble opinion, Europe's had 3 years to step up and take this on. Russia has an economy the size of Italy. Europe has an economy multiple times bigger than Russia, and they have to be able to defend themselves. There's been at least 1 million casualties in this war so far, maybe 1 million deaths. How many of y'all grew up in the Vietnam War era or served in Vietnam? I mean, I just remember driving by the cemetery on my way to my grandparents' farm and seeing flag-draped coffins of young men that were playing high school football last year. And I said if I ever had a chance to stop endless wars, I would do that. So that's where my heart is coming from. I don't want, especially America, I don't want anyone to be out here dying. Millions of people die.
Of course not.
This war has gotten nowhere. It's stuck. It is absolutely stuck. As I said, it would have been 3 years ago. I said that if we didn't give Ukraine what they needed before this happened, and I begged the Biden administration to give them the tools that they needed before it happened, when it happened. I begged them to put on maximum sanctions on Russia, and they never did. I'm reminded of what Eisenhower said about war. Ike said that I hate war as only a soldier who's lived it can, with all its brutality and futility. That I don't want war. At the end of the day, I think we should stay focused on the goals. We may disagree how to get there, oftentimes, but as long as we agree on the same goals, I'm willing to have that conversation. My goal, I believe President Trump's goal, is to have peace in this situation and avoid World War III. This really could have already turned into World War III or some type of a nuclear holocaust. In my opinion, Ukraine's been for 3 years has been a bottomless pit. We've spent at least $175 billion there, maybe more. And it just feels like we're throwing good money after bad money. I want there to be a peace agreement. I want it to be done sooner than later. I know I was not surprised at all to see the blow up yesterday. Was not surprised at all, based upon what the undercurrents were. There are ways to have avoided that event, but Mr. Zelensky had insisted on coming to the White House to sign this agreement.
Well, of course.
President Zelensky.
Again, this is so interesting that we all have a set of facts that we believe are right. We all have a set of truths that we believe are right. But I go back to this infallibility thing. To think that you're not infallible, to think that only your facts are right, I think that's not what democracy is about. I bet that 95% of the people in this room, let me back up. I know that based upon polling, 70% of Americans want there to be a swift peace to this situation, a swift peace. And I think that that's President Trump's goal as well.
Rest in peace.
And I'm just gonna, for those of you that wanna keep warring over in Europe, I hope that you're willing to send your own son or daughter or yourself to go over there and fight. But personally, I think we've done enough there. We're willing to we're willing to support them, but I think basically we've done enough. You girls got some questions for me?
I tried to, there's, there's plenty on farming.
Yeah,
Quite
what we
a
need to
few
do.
on, budget president and Medicaid, so.
Okay.
And then they use the shutdown, things like that.
Or just kind of give me 3 or 4 packs of them and.
Yeah, so this one here, some on agriculture, we'll start with that.